I have watched people ruin their money by chasing 10% gains and ignoring one stupid habit. Most people think rich people win by finding hot stocks. They are wrong. The real game is keeping more, wasting less, and waiting longer. During my years studying the Charlie Munger way, I learned that strong money lives inside boring rules. Stay with me. By the end, you will know three simple numbers that can help you escape the broke trap and act today, not next year. Watch a man earn $180,000 a year and still feel poor, and you learn something fast. Income alone does not save anybody. I once studied a man like that. Call him Mike. He got raises in 3 different years. He moved to a better house, leased a nicer car, took bigger trips, and kept telling himself the next raise would fix the pressure. By 45, he had a $3,200 car payment and insurance bill, $18,000 on credit cards, and less than $2,000 in cash. Count the damage and the lesson gets ugly. Mike made about $15,000 a month before tax. Yet after the mortgage, car, eating out, private school dreams, weekend shopping and debt payments, he had maybe $400 left in a good month. Then one layoff hit. In 90 days, the whole thing bent. In 180 days, it broke. He had the look many people carry in silence, the look of a person who earns a lot and owns very little. Notice what failed him. His paycheck did not fail him. His market returns did not fail him. His stock picks did not fail him. His story failed him. He believed more money would clean up bad habits. That belief ruins people every year. A bigger bucket does not help if the bottom is cracked. Remember that. Study the rich long enough, and the pattern gets less exciting, not more. The people who stay rich often do three plain things. They keep a wide gap between what comes in and what goes out. They build a wall of cash so one bad month does not become one bad decade. Then they let patient ownership work for 20 or 25 years while everybody else runs around looking clever, not sexy, powerful. Carry that one idea through this whole talk. Money is not won by genius first. Money is won by structure first. A weak structure can ruin a strong income. A strong structure can rescue an average income. If you remember only one sentence from me, remember that one. Meet Janet, because stories teach faster than slogans. Janet never earned what Mike earned. At 34, she made about $68,000 a year. She rented a plain place, drove a used car she had already paid off, and cooked at home 4 nights a week. She did not talk about finance like a hobby. She treated it like plumbing. Quiet, regular, necessary. By 42, she had 8 months of cash saved and a steady habit of buying a broad market fund every month. Watch the difference that calm can make. When Janet lost a job during a rough year, she did not sell in panic. She did not call her sister for rescue money. She did not swipe cards and pray later. She used her cash wall, cut 3 small costs, and bought time. 9 weeks later, she had a new job. Her money plan bent, but it did not break. That is what grown-up money looks like. Know who I am in this story. I am speaking in a Charlie Munger-inspired voice, shaped by years of studying hard judgment, simple math, and human foolishness. That school taught me a severe truth. Wealth usually grows from boring discipline, not bright talk. So I will give you the three numbers that matter here. They are 20, 6, and 25. Keep a 20% gap. Build 6 months of cash. Own good things for 25 years. Start with 20 because the first rule is the one almost everybody wants to skip. 20 means your life must cost less than 80% of what you bring home. If you make $4,000 after tax each month, your life should fit inside about $3,200. That leaves $800 for the future, not for someday, for every month. Understand why I use 20 and not 3 or 5. A 5% gap is too thin. One car repair can eat it. One dentist bill can kill it. One silly weekend can erase it. A 20% gap has muscle. It can fill a cash account, attack debt, and buy ownership at the same time. It gives you room to be wrong and still survive. In money, survival comes before elegance. Fight the first objection now. You may say, I do not earn enough to save 20%. Sometimes that is true at the start. A person making $2,200 a month after tax may feel squeezed to the bone, but do not turn a hard season into a permanent excuse. If you cannot reach 20 this month, reach 5. If you cannot reach 5, reach 2. Then raise it by 1 point every 60 days. Progress matters because habits harden. A weak start can still become a strong life. Kill the second objection too. You may say, my city is too expensive. Fine. Then your rules must get harder, not softer. Expensive cities punish sloppy spending faster than cheap towns do. If rent eats 45% of your take-home pay, then cars, clothes, food, and trips must become plain. You cannot spend like a high earner and save like a monk at the same time. One story has to die. Face the third objection because it fools smart people. You may say, I will save after my next raise. I have seen that lie live inside nice homes, good jobs, and polished people. Delay turns into lifestyle creep. A raise comes. The couch gets upgraded. The vacation gets longer. The habits stay weak. Saving later is like planning to start brushing your teeth after the next birthday. It sounds harmless. It is not. Mark the real point. The 20% gap is not about being cheap. It is about buying space. Space lets you think. Space lets you walk away from a bad boss. Space lets you survive a broken furnace, a slow business month, or a family need. Poor structure steals your choices before you even notice they are gone. Remember that number. Watch Janet and Mike again, because arithmetic beats opinion. Janet saved $200 a month for 20 years and set aside $48,000 before a single dollar of growth. Mike saved $500 a month for 5 years and set aside $30,000 before growth. Janet did the smaller action for longer and got the bigger base. Mike did the bigger action for fewer years and got the worse outcome. That means your future is often shaped more by steadiness than by intensity. Picture what that means in a real life. The person who saves less but starts now may build options. The person who saves more but waits may build regret. Waiting is expensive in ways people do not feel until 10 years are gone. Take a hard look at where your money leaks. Open the last 60 days of bank and card statements. Circle every cost that did not improve your health, your home, your work, or your peace. Most people find 3 to 7 leaks in 15 minutes. Subscriptions, takeout, shopping done out of boredom. Fast money does not disappear by magic. It escapes through small doors. Cut one big cost before you cut 10 tiny ones. Move down a car. Take one roommate for 12 months. Reshop insurance this week. Pause the gym you never use. Pack lunch 3 days a week. If you save $300 a month on one decision, that is $3,600 a year. That is not a theory. That is breathing room. Build one rule that makes the gap real. Set an automatic transfer for the day after payday, even if it starts at $50. Automation matters because human beings are weak at the exact moment money lands. We feel rich for 48 hours and stupid by day 20. So move the money before your moods can touch it. Notice how dignity enters the picture. A person with a gap walks differently. Bills still come. Trouble still comes. But panic does not own the house. That is why the first rule matters more than stock tips, side hustles, and dinner table opinions. So step one in your life this week is to create a 20% gap, or the biggest honest gap you can build now, and lock it in with one cut and one automatic transfer. Move to 6 because the second rule is your shield. 6 means 6 months of living costs held in safe cash. If your basic life costs $3,000 a month, your target is $18,000. If your life costs $5,000, your target is $30,000. No fancy trick here, just a wall between you and chaos. Understand why this rule sounds boring and still changes lives. Most disasters are not rare. Cars break, jobs end, roofs leak, parents get sick, businesses slow down. The shock is not that hard things happen. The shock is how many adults live 14 days away from trouble. A cash wall turns a crisis into a problem you can solve in order. Fight the first objection again. You may say, cash earns too little. Fine. But that misses the job. Cash is not there to get rich. Cash is there to keep you from doing something stupid at the worst possible time. When markets fall 30%, the person with no cash often sells the good stuff cheap. The person with cash can wait. Sometimes survival earns the best return. Kill the second objection. You may say, I have a credit card. A credit card is not an emergency fund. It is rented money with a timer on it. If you carry $8,000 at 24% interest, the debt grows while your stress grows beside it. Real cash buys time. Borrowed cash buys pressure. Face the third objection too. You may say, I will build cash after I start investing more. That sounds wise, but it often fails in practice. Without cash, one bad month forces you to stop investing, sell investments, or borrow. The plan keeps getting reset to zero. A weak floor makes every ceiling collapse. Remember the order. First protect, then grow. Nature works that way. Houses work that way. Money works that way. If the base is weak, every higher dream becomes fragile. Study Rosa because the quiet stories teach the big lesson. Rosa worked in a dental office and brought home about $3,400 a month. She wanted to invest fast because social media told her cash was lazy. Instead, she spent 4 years building a 6-month fund one piece at a time. Then her son broke an arm, her car needed a transmission, and her office cut hours in the same season. 3 hits, 1 quarter. She paid each bill from savings and kept her long-term money untouched. Watch Dan in the other lane. Dan made more than Rosa. He had nicer shoes and louder opinions. He kept just $900 in checking because he said invested money should always stay busy. Then his hours got cut and he had a $2,400 repair. He used cards, missed one payment, paid fees, and sold part of a retirement account in a bad month. One setback became four setbacks because his structure was weak. Watch the math again. Rosa saved $150 a month for 4 years and built $7,200. Dan saved $400 a month for 1 year and built $4,800. Rosa did the smaller action for longer and got the stronger shield. Dan did the bigger action for fewer years and got the weaker outcome. That means a slow wall can protect you better than a fast burst that never lasts. Hear what that number means for your life. 6 months of cash is not dead money. It is paid for patience. It lets you say no to a rotten job offer. It lets you hold through bad markets. It lets you fix a problem with cash instead of fear. Break the target into small parts so your brain does not quit. If your 6-month goal is $18,000, then your first goal is $1,000. After that, aim for 1 month, then 3 months, then 6. A mountain climbed in 4 steps feels different from a mountain stared at in shame. You do not need one grand act. You need one regular act. Use a separate account so the money stays ugly and hard to touch. Do not keep the fund beside your spending money where one late-night mood can hit transfer. Name the account something cold and clear. Call it 6-month wall. Names matter because words guide behavior. Build the wall before you buy status. The phone upgrade can wait 10 months. The couch can wait 1 year. The kitchen remodel can wait too. Trouble will not ask whether your countertops look expensive. Trouble only asks whether you prepared. Remember that sentence. So step 2 in your life this week is to set your 6-month cash target. Open or rename the account and automate the first deposit no matter how small. Turn to 25 because the third rule is where real ownership starts. 25 means you stop treating money like a lottery ticket and start treating it like a farm. You buy good productive assets, spread them out, and hold them for 25 years. In plain terms, that often means broad, low-cost index funds or simple businesses you truly understand, owned for a very long time. Understand why 25 matters. 10 years can still be noisy. One bad start date can fool you. A rough decade can make decent people doubt a sound plan. But 25 years gives your behavior time to matter more than headlines. It gives money that makes money time to become visible. Boring gets beautiful when time is long enough. Fight the first objection. You may say, I started late. Fine. Then stop wasting the years you still have. A 42-year-old with a clear plan can beat a 27-year-old with chaos. Late is painful. Late is not fatal. Fatal is staying proud and frozen because you dislike your starting point. Kill the second objection. You may say, markets are scary. Of course they are. Trees shake in storms too. Yet people do not dig them up every winter. When you own a broad slice of productive business, price swings are noise unless you need the money tomorrow. Fear grows when your time frame is short and your cash cushion is thin. That is why Rule 2 protects Rule 3. Face the third objection. You may say, I need faster results. That sentence has emptied many wallets. Fast often means risky, concentrated, emotional, and expensive. Slow often means simple, spread out, understandable, and durable, not thrilling, effective. Study Elena and Ben, because a clean example clears the fog. Assume both invest in a plain broad fund, and both get the same assumed 8% yearly return. Elena puts in $300 a month for 25 years and ends near $285,000. Ben puts in $600 a month for 10 years and ends near $110,000. Elena did the smaller action for longer and got the bigger outcome. Ben did the bigger action for fewer years and got the worse outcome. That means time can do work that hustle alone cannot do. Picture what that means for your future. Starting with a smaller amount now can beat waiting for the perfect bigger amount later. Perfection delays. Regular action builds. Choose simple over fancy. If you do not study businesses for 10 hours a week, stop pretending you will outsmart armies of professionals. Spread it out. Keep costs low. Add monthly. Leave it alone. The rich often get rich by refusing to act smart every 3 days. Use a monthly buy rule so emotion stays out. Pick one date, like the 5th of each month. Buy the same fund on that date whether markets are up, down, or flat. If you buy when you feel safe, you will often buy high. If you buy by rule, you stay in the game through fear and noise. Ignore the dinner table stock hero. Every family seems to have one person who made quick money once and now speaks like a prophet. I do not care. One lucky story can poison a room for 5 years. Wealth built on envy and hurry usually comes with a trap door. Hold the line when prices fall. A market drop can feel like failure, but for a regular buyer it can mean lower prices on the same stream of productive businesses. If you own garbage, that is one problem. If you own good broad assets and keep buying, a fall can be a sale, not a funeral. Use tax-friendly accounts when you can. A 401k, IRA, pension wrapper, or similar plan can help because less drag means more of your money stays yours. Even a 1% fee saved over 25 years matters. Small leaks in long pipes waste big water. Remember the deeper lesson. The point is not to stare at charts. The point is to own a piece of human work for a long time while you go live a decent life. Good investing should free your attention, not eat it. So step 3 in your life this week is to choose one simple long-term investment lane, set a monthly buy date, and commit to a 25-year mindset before the next headline tries to scare you. Watch where people still blow this plan up because the enemy is rarely math. The enemy is emotion mixed with access. A sale sign pops up. A friend buys a shiny truck. A market crash turns your screen red. A hard workday whispers that you deserve a treat. Then one click becomes a bad month. One bad month becomes a story about how saving just does not work for me. Notice the exact emotional moment when willpower breaks. It usually happens at night, tired, alone, slightly angry, slightly bored, phone in hand, card already saved. Or it happens after fear, when the market falls and your stomach tells you to stop the pain now. Human beings do not fail because they lack information. They fail because their systems leave too many doors open during weak moments. Remember that. Build structure where your future self is weakest. Automate the transfer. Delete card details from shopping sites. Keep only one spending card in your wallet. Put a 24-hour wait rule on any non-essential purchase over $100. Write a list called Things I Wanted and Forgot in 2 days. That list can save you thousands in a single year because desire often dies fast when given time. Use defaults to beat drama. Let payday split into three buckets the same day: spending, cash wall, long-term investing. If the money never sits in one big pile, you will feel less rich for 24 foolish hours and more secure for 24 wise years. Structure beats motivation because motivation has moods. Study one more simple picture. A man I knew got a bonus of $6,000 and spent the first $4,500 in 10 days because it hit his checking account hole. Another investor I studied split a $6,000 bonus on arrival, $3,000 to the cash wall, $2,000 to long-term ownership, $1,000 for guilt-free fun. Same bonus, different structure. One bought noise, one bought options. Name the trap plainly: status hunger. People overspend because they want to feel safe, admired, included, or less ashamed. The purchase is often emotional medicine dressed up as logic. A $900 monthly car payment can be a loneliness bill in disguise. A closet full of clothes can be an insecurity account. Until you see the feeling under the spending, you will keep fighting the wrong enemy. Replace shame with design. Shame makes people hide from numbers. Design makes people face numbers and change the room. If you miss 1 month, do not call yourself hopeless. Fix the transfer. Sell the extra thing. Lower the bill. Start again in 24 hours. A plan should survive human weakness, not depend on perfect behavior. Keep your money rules visible. Put the three numbers on paper. Tape them inside a drawer beside your desk or on the fridge if you live alone. Write 20% gap, 6-month wall, 25-year ownership. When fear or envy hits, rules save thinking time. Return now to the main truth. Manage money like the top 1% and life starts to feel less loud. That does not mean you copy their houses, watches, or wine cellars. It means you copy their invisible habits: margin, patience, and calm. You build space between income and spending. You build protection before pride. You let long years do the heavy lifting. Carry the framework beyond finance. A 20% gap is not just a money rule. It is a life rule. Leave margin in your schedule. Leave room in your health. Leave energy in your week. A crowded life breaks as fast as a crowded budget. Notice how peace enters through plain doors. 6 months of cash is really 6 months of breathing. 25 years of ownership is really 25 years of refusing to be jerked around by fashion and fear. These are not tricks for looking rich. They are habits for staying free. Choose dignity over display. Choose options over applause. Choose a life where one mistake does not end the month and one bad month does not end the decade. That is the adult way to handle money. Live that way long enough, and the word stops being money. It becomes life. Notice what you just did. You spent the next 40 minutes of your life here. That matters. Most people will spend 40 minutes scrolling past noise, fear, and fake shortcuts. You spent it learning three numbers that can steady a life. That is not small. That is a fork in the road. Know what I will give you next. The next video is about the 7 spending lies that keep good people broke after 40, and it builds on exactly what we just covered. If today was about structure, the next one is about the hidden stories that destroy structure from the inside. You need both: a sound rule and a sound mind. Hit subscribe because the work is just beginning. This is not content. This is a discipline, and disciplines require community to survive. If you want calm over chaos, patience over panic, and judgment over impulse, stay here. We are building a life that can hold pressure without collapsing. Stay steady.